that was one of the most stressful times around this city, in the Metro D.C. area. And many people still have not recovered. They are in recovery from that season of time. And what I want to do is speak out loud what happens when we get to this catastrophic thinking. Let's stop for a minute and talk about that. You know, it says, "Oh, magnify the Lord," right? But we do, "Oh, magnify the problem, the issues, the situations." We magnify them. Why do we do that? Stop for a reason. Let's talk about this for a minute. What are some of the reasons we make the problem big? Not just fear. There's other reasons. Fear may be some of the engine underneath it, but I want to talk out loud some of the reasons. Mike? So it stops you from getting to the solution. What else? What's the last one over here? Oh, now you hit. What was that other one? Protection. I'm going to put them to the left, highlight what I call very critical ones. Getting people on board. Let me also put part of that, a need for attention. Right? Need for attention. Somebody said the word, the C word. Did I hear it out there? To control. To manipulate. We're staying on this side of the board. You're flowing now. Self-fulfilling prophecy was another way of saying that. Sabotage. Very, very serious. Say that again. Now you just did the whole lesson. Operating out of your flesh when fear arises. That's the source of it right there. I'm giving you all these things because a lot of things that's going on in fear is triggering our flesh response, our carnality versus our spirit. And part of it, and I'm going to use the word, part of sometimes our own spiritual immaturity is that we don't have a spiritual response. We don't have. And let's give some of the reasons real quick. It's centered around the disciplines. We don't have no word in us. Preaching and hearing a sermon exhorts, but that's not enough word. What we're doing tonight is part of it. But your own personal study of the word is so critical. You cannot live in a famine in the word. We got to end the famine of the word. You have to drench yourself more in the word. Be very intentional about creating habits of being in the word. Because one of the reasons why fear takes over and anxiety takes over, self-sabotage takes over, need to control, getting people on board, manipulation, is those are all fleshly, carnal responses. And many times, I don't have nothing. I'm shooting blanks. I don't have no response. I don't have no God-forced response in this situation, so I'm positioned by the enemy. He's got me, and I don't have a response. And you know what one of the problems is? This is what I found out with my own carnal responses. I'm not connected to nobody who I can call to help me with this. I don't even have my list. We should all, here it is, have a list, 1, 2, 3, people that I can call that's going to get in the word, that's going to get in prayer, that's going to get into worship, that's going to help me in warfare. That's going to bring me back to the spirit issues versus calling them up and saying, "Oh yeah, baby," and just excite the flesh. Oftentimes, the people we call and we are attracted to in our dilemmas and our fears are the very people that stir up the flesh, stir up gossip, stir up all kind of negative words. Don't have a word, but they give all kinds of words. And many times it's the wrong word. Are you seeing it? So the enemy, we allow ourselves to be surrounded by carnal Christians. Oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all, we moving slow through this, right? Martin Luther King called it the unchristian Christian. Who I associate with tells a lot about me. And we've been talking about this, getting more mature people that I can grow through and grow with in my life. And not hanging, you're an eagle, but you're always hanging around with turkeys. You have to have somebody who grows you beyond your pastor. I'm talking about many within the lay community. And they don't have to be in your church. Everybody's not going to be able to grow you that's in your church with you. But you need to have other people who are accessible. Write that word down. Because if you don't have someone who's accessible, if they keep getting the answer machine, you can't reach them, you never talk with you, they're busy. That's what happens with pastors too, because they got a congregation, he or she can't be accessible to everybody. So you need grassroots, accessible, mature people who can give you word, worship, and prayer that can help you deal with your anxieties. Because most of the fear and anxieties, as Minister Amy was saying, as you move to them, the highlight of them is flesh. There is no good thing in it. It's flesh. I hear somebody ready to say something?
Isn't that the Elijah problem? Because, when you look at Elijah...
Talking about Jezebel?
Yeah, he was anointed. He comes in, because they have no rain. He calls down fire from heaven. The brook and the raven, he raises the widow's earth that he does the oil and the deal. He raises her son. And then when Jezebel says she's going to kill him, he runs away. And has decayed. But what he says is, I'm the only one. I'm the only one left. And I'm going to end up like my fathers.
Yep. Heads cut off.
And God had to give him Elisha. Gave him somebody in order to feed, help him with that fear. But it's not really based on how anointed you are or your spiritual gifts or anything like that. It's deeper than...
Everybody understand what Reverend Banks is lifting up? He's lifting up the Elijah model. One of the greatest prophets, referred to as the giant of most prophets that ever walked the earth. But he had two sides, the anointed, doing great works, and then the next thing you know, he's running scared from Jezebel. Life is over, ready to die. And then God gave him Elijah, another prophet, a younger prophet, to help him to be able to mentor. And in mentoring him, he grew. He grew stronger from helping Elijah to grow. We need somebody in our lives. That really is the picture of Jesus with all his disciples. He would always say, go out in twos. As I send you, I'm sending you in twos for a reason. He's not sending you in one because if you fall, the other one can help you get up. The encouraging spirit. How many of you hang out around negative people all the time? No, not one. You positive. You positive. Everybody been come on, put your hands together. Everybody been delivered at once. Oh boy, praise the Lord. Oh, I qualified it, huh? It's the word all. Sometimes. How many of your confidants who you rely on and you talk to often are negative? People you rely on and talk to often are negative. Get a counterbalance. You hear what he's saying? He's saying the counterbalance helps him. He said the negative people, I'm looking for my microphone. The negative people The negative people, I like the word he said. I don't even want to repeat it. I want to make sure he said it. Because it's a good word. He can hear testing 1, 2. We're taping this, so we need your help.
What I often do, I use the negative individuals to be my counterbalance, or the naysayers. Because if you're going to bounce something off that's positive, somebody's always going to tell you, you can't do it, you can't do this is not the work. But if I listen to the naysayers, then I'll never do anything. But that's the counterbalance to keep me balanced.
Mm-hmm. So counterbalance keeps him balanced. Sometimes the negative people are the inspiration. Yeah, but that don't work for everybody, but it works for him. Mm-hmm. Mike? I need to know the other side is thinking.